All right, we are back. Game two. Kenos here with Jeff, recovering from that incredibly quick game one. And Phoenix tried to make something happen. Blitzkrieg making a statement, and
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and it's one that everyone I think heard quite well.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier about how Blitzkrieg in the early parts of this split looked like maybe the strongest team in the league. Then they went away for a while. If they duplicate that performance or anything close to it in game two, that's a real big signal to whoever they would meet in the finals that they are back.
All right, so you're Phoenix here. Other than going back to basics, what specifically do you think they should try to do?
I'd say put Hohenheim back on something more standard. Um, Play around him. He is still, in my opinion, the star of this team. Um, and so put him on. I mean, you had the Zoe available last game. They had already picked the Nasus, and I don't know if Darian is comfortable on that, if they could have flexed it. But if you see something like the Zoe available again for Hohenheim, it's one of his favorites. I'd say just go with that. Go back to, you know, standard for you. Not that Phoenix has ever really played standard, but
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's probably what everyone is thinking right now. Phoenix, Nasus could have worked, maybe something to mess around with in the regular season, but busting it out here, especially with that Darius pick, I think if they end up winning this, or even, for my own personal sake, I'm going to try to ask what was going on with the Nasus pick. Um, but we'll see what happens. Targeting Hohenheim again with Blitzkrieg's bans. Phoenix actually shaking it up a little bit, taking out that Nocturne. Nocturne, of course, been huge in the LCUS this split.
yeah, I mean, Nocturne, one of the most snowbally champions in the game. Certainly, probably the most in the jungle role.
The big issue here, though, is that having banned the Nocturne, now one of Exia's assassins is going to get through. Not to mention Kaisa.
Yeah, the Ari was available to Blitzkrieg in the first rotation of picks last game. They didn't choose to prioritize it. Seems like it all worked out. Um, Once again, you wonder how much they scouted, how much they knew that Nasus mid was coming, and so they were comfortable with not needing the Ari.
Also interesting that they decided to ban Maokai this time instead of Malphite. Maybe Washed Up Top Laner is going to first pick Malphite here. Hey, look at that.
Oh, great call. Prophet Kenos making an appearance.
Alright, so we will see what sort of mid lane they decide to go with this time. A lot of Exia's tools are still available. Kaisa is also still available. See if Phoenix decides to take anything away from that.
I really like the bans from Blitzkrieg here with the first pick Malphite in combination. You're taking away Darian's two most comfortable champions, and you do leave, the Zoe up for Hohenheim, one of his favorite champions. But it's not like a Vigar or a Fiddlesticks where it's going to be able to completely carry a fight.
The Nami pick is interesting. It's not really something you see LNZ play that much.
Yeah, we saw him play it, or I've seen him play it at least once this split, and Phoenix actually got kind of annihilated in that game. I think TARDIS went something like 0-4, 0-5 in lane on the Nami, so we'll see how that works out for them. With the Alistar available, pretty surprised to see such early priority taken for that Nami.
Yeah, not only with the Alistar available, but also having I would have even thought maybe he'd play like Rakan. He did very well with Rakan last week. But I mean, it's possible it could be a mid Nami for all we know. I mean, this is
right.
well, after what happened in game one. I'm not taking any chances here.
Never doubt Hohenheim's willingness to experiment.
But going with that Varus again, so definitely know what Gotta Get Lucky likes. Oop, taking the Icebird. Alright, Icebird was available. Hohenheim going back to the most basic.
Yep, going way back. Vintage Von Hohenheim right here.
But that being said, I believe Hohenheim used Icebird in like the first games of the split, and they lost horribly. So
Yeah, I think you might be right.
yeah,
The
so
Darius
we'll see.
ban comes out.
I mean, I don't know if if Anivia has as much fear attributed to her as she has in the other splits.
Yeah, we haven't seen it nearly as prioritized as it has been in past splits here in the LCUS. Not that that's really too surprising considering that it was so ridiculously prioritized in past splits.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Blitzkrieg's response is to it. Exia still has not picked a mid laner, allegedly.
And they banned the Shen away too, so they are just really squeezing Darian's champion pool here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Darian tries something like Aatrox again. Unless they ban that too.
Right.
Because I mean, Amumu for Fat Lee means that they're going to have a lot of tank already. They don't necessarily need the Shen or the Malphite or something like that. But we'll see what their last ban here is. Misfortune, okay. Alright, I'm surprised by the Leona ban. I mean, obviously Lofi Senpai was doing well, but I didn't think he was doing that well.
Yeah, between the Leona and the Nocturne bans, it looks like Phoenix just want to make sure that they don't get, run over like they were in Game 1. Leona, with that long-range engage, so much crowd control and gets so durable when she gets some gold that she's another champion that can really snowball a game once a team gets slightly ahead.
I'm seeing a lot of knockups here. Ornn and Nami's ults both, they could basically shut down an entire team.
Maybe a 80 carry Yasuo.
That would be hilarious. 80 carry Anivia.
It's like, nope.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're putting Darian on notice. It's like, we know what your jam pool is.
And so it looks like Phoenix, they have saved the 80 carry for the last spot.
A lot of possibilities. Almost no ADCs banned out here except Misfortune. So they could take Lucian, they could take Xayah.
Yeah, the Kaisa still available as well. Pike picked up on the side of Lofi Senpai, so a lot of initiation on the side of Blitzkrieg. Looks like
not a lot of durability though.
Yeah, other than the Malphite, there's really a lot of squishiness over there. And this is how we've seen Blitzkrieg play throughout this split. They love bringing the damage, they love bringing the fight.
Yeah, that's real.
It's real.
Alright, I don't mind that. His ability to double flash out of all of the CC coming his way.
Yeah, this looks like sort of the classic Blitzkrieg game here, where we have Blitzkrieg themselves playing a lot of damage, not really much durability, just sort of trying to run you over. And they're playing into a much more standard composition, and it's just going to come down to who executes better in the early game.
Mm-hmm. A lot of skill shots coming out of Phoenix. Oh, both sides, really. Got the charms, Ezreal's Q, Amumu's hooks, Pike's hooks. Everybody's got hooks.
Both sides have a lot of long-range engage, too. Both top laners have, with their ultimates, can pretty much force a fight whenever they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nami as well. I think that Phoenix has a real wombo combo possibility here. To the point where I think they would have played Fiddlesticks if they had the option.
Oh, absolutely. I certainly think they would have loved to have gotten their hands on that, but once again, Blitzkrieg were the original guinea pigs that were the victims of that Fiddlesticks composition that Phoenix brought out about midway through the season. So you have to imagine that of any team out there, they're the ones who are just going to say, no, we don't want to deal with it.
I'm expecting Kane's going to go red form. You don't really need more super assassin, I would say. I mean, J-Dog may prove me wrong. But
yeah, I think it'll depend maybe on how the game goes. If Blitzkrieg get off to a flying start, anything like Game 1, I think that they'll be feeling great. And they'll probably just go all in with that damage composition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that of course that is the other thing. If Kane gets 6 kills, sure, go blue, why not? But we'll see how they decide to play that out. I'm a little concerned about the lack of durability in that bot lane. With Pike just sitting there waiting to eat somebody. He likes to eat fish. And there's a fish there. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Fatley able to do much more effective ganks, I think, would be a fair way to describe it with a Mumu. Um, but Orin versus Malphite up top will be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Or
I mean, it's two guys that are just among the most durable champions in the game. I
yeah,
would expect most of the action to be around the mid lane, actually. I think both of these teams are so reliant on their mid laners.
I think another interesting part will be just to see the impact. I I think that the Malphite on Blitzkrieg may lead to a reverse situation that we're used to see for Phoenix, where Malphite's going to suddenly get engaged in fights and the whole tempo of the game's going to change.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, they've relied on that quite a lot when they've been behind a good Malphite ult. I don't know if Ornn, obviously, Ornn has a very effective ult that's somewhat similar to Malphite, but it has a lot more startup.
Yeah,
So
yeah, there's a lot more counterplay to it.
So I don't know if they're going to have that same momentum, but if things are going bad for Blitzkrieg, like especially I could see a bot lane play coming in where just washed up top laner suddenly shows up with a big ult and that there goes the game.
Yeah,
But
you would certainly think that Blitzkrieg will be the ones looking to make early action happen.
mhm,
Phoenix, not that they won't try, but just in terms of Blitzkrieg's playstyle that we've seen over the course of the split, that's what they love to do:
indeed.
create chaos and feed off of it.
Well, we're going into the Nero Skin Showdown, so we'll see what actually matters here, which is predicting the skins. Granted, Phoenix lost last time for me, but you know, whatever. I was biased. See
Yellow
what
Jacket Shen.
see what happens this time. Sticking with it, Arctic Ops Varus. I like it. Oh, they changed the art for Pulsefire Ezreal. I haven't seen Pulsefire Ezreal in a long time.
All right, good point. I had not seen that either.
All right, so with one skin missing a piece here, I kind of like Phoenix's lineup. They kind of got an elemental thing going for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. The frost, the fire, the water, and then the pulse fire. Is that also fire?
I
I
was
don't even
thinking
know.
more air
But
since he looks like he's flying a little bit.
sure. All right, we'll go with that.
But yeah, big shout out to
Yeah.
Arctic Ops Varus. I do like that skin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I give this one to Phoenix.
Well, hopefully the win goes over to them as well. At least I'm sure that's what their team's thinking.
After that 18-minute game one, you would certainly think that it'd be hard for them to not perform better in game two, at least somewhat.
I think that if nothing else, this team for Phoenix will be able to slow the game down a little bit more.
Hmm.
They have a lot more ability to stall. They've got Anivia's frost balls. They've got Nami's prisons. They have an ability to play a slow retreat game. But
Yeah, Anivia is, alongside Ziggs, probably the best wave clear champion in the game. So difficult to get a minion wave to a tower if Anivia is set up and has mana.
well, we do all seem to be loaded in here. I like that both teams are coordinating their icons as well. As the
LCUS still with the wrong team tag, but
well, sure, but one step at a time. And once again, oh, Hohenheim with teleport also. He took his barrier off.
ah, well,
So,
he has pretty much a second health bar with that egg every few minutes.
mhm. As we're hopefully going to load into the game here in a second. Once again, thanks to Foster Adventure for sponsoring this first set of games here with the LCUS.
Yeah, I'm still seeing Darian at 40% here, so I'm wondering if we're having any sort of technical issues here. Certainly hope not.
Yeah, just internet issues. What are you going to do? Let me tell you though, if that Ornn was Thunderlord Ornn, oh my god, that'd be so good. They'd have
Yeah, that would have been pretty amazing.
three champs with that silver and blue style going on. I mean,
And it even adds to the whole elemental
right,
theme as
exactly.
well.
Damn it, Darian, you're letting us down in more ways than one. Loading time, skin. Pike, I'm not too familiar with his skins, so I'm not sure which one would have complemented the lineup up here well.
Yeah, same here. Blitzkrieg's, I don't know, overall, some solid skins. But, all right, here we go. Into the game. We can stop talking about aesthetics.
Talk about what really matters. All right.
The important questions. Will this game reach 19 minutes?
Right. Will this game reach 19 minutes? Will Blitzkrieg win a 2-0? Get revenge for being fiddlesticks bait and advance to the finals.
2018 banners are still up.
Oh,
And we've got a pause.
that's got to be
Like,
because
yeah,
of Darian.
yeah, looks like there was some internet issues for Darian. Also, J-Dog is visiting the restroom, according to his team. So,
An interesting point that I haven't mentioned quite yet is that if Phoenix somehow manages to 2-0 here and get into the finals, and Option 12 wins in the next set of games, we'll have a repeat champion for the first time in the LCUS.
sure.
Of course, if Phoenix wins here and then wins next week, it'll be the first time we've had a team win 2 splits in a row.
And
So-
if I'm not mistaken, Hohenheim and Tardis were also on that Phoenix team last split.
Well, Hohenheim's was on the team that won Split 1, so, you know, if he just keeps making these appearances and wins, you know, looking like Tom Brady here in a few minutes. All right, so we have a reconnect here. I guess we're just waiting on J-Dog. Do you think we're going to see any sort of invades here? This can be a very aggressive Blitzkrieg team for an invade if they want to.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They've got a couple of level 1 crowd control abilities, and it's Blitzkrieg. They love making plays, they love being aggressive, and you have to imagine they'll be feeling even more confident after how Game 1 went.
Well, we'll see in 28 minutes or less. This is how the game is going to last longer than 19 minutes. Is
Yeah,
they're going
apparently.
to drag it out with a pause. It'll be okay, guys. Last time we lost too quickly, so this time we're going to make sure that the YouTube video is longer than 20 minutes. By just running this out.
Ugh, okay, looks like the teams are set. Everybody's back from the bathroom.
So do you think with this Lofi Senpai Gotta Get Lucky versus Port Swimmer and Alonzi, do you think that Blitzkrieg is going to just have the same strong advantage they had last time?
You know, I think so. You know, they thoroughly outplayed them in the 2v2 in Game 1. And Wofi Senpai on that Pike, he's going to be able to create fights, create havoc. And once again, Tardis, the last time I saw him on this Nami, it wasn't great. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to adjust his playstyle to be more careful on that Nami. Brings the heal, brings the sustain. So Phoenix has the ability to play this lane safe and outlast Blitzkrieg. It's just about them avoiding those bone skewers, getting caught in bad situations as they were last game.
Ooh, nice little prediction shot there.
Yeah, that's the kind of shot that isn't so much about the damage as it is just the information you get from hearing that Mystic Shot hit. You know someone was in that brush.
Yeah. Also with Ezreal's passive as well. That's something I always liked about his passive, is that it was just a visual representation. You hit something.
So it looks like both sides willing to set up a pretty standard start once again.
Doing a lot of emotes for no one to see because there's no wards here. Look at this duck. Look at that duck. Such a cute duck. He doesn't care what's going on right now. He's just hanging out. Alright, so we have a blue start for Phoenix here. J-Dog getting a little bit of a leash from Exia, who started Charm first. Rather interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe just not worrying too much about wave clear here early on, not caring about having that Q.
Might have been expecting some hijinks from Phoenix, and so just wanted to predict that. But we'll see what happens. With the leash that happened there, Portswimmer and LNZ lost any chance to try to contest Blitzkrieg's first wave of minions. So they'll be behind on CS for a little bit here. And Darian, it's his turn to be the aggressor.
Yeah, wave is pushing into him right now.
I'm interested to see if this turns into one of those situations where he knows Malphite so well that he can counter it.
Yeah, that is always extremely helpful when you're well versed in a champion to know exactly what it can do in certain situations. Watch up top laner actually giving up a couple CS there in exchange for getting a little bit more harassed down onto the Ornn.
Sick Nasty finally gets the crab there. Fat Lee almost dies, but manages to smite his way out of it. Just a little bit of poke back and forth here. Of course, with LNZ on this Nami, it's a very different lane. Ooh, Hohenheim misses a wall there.
Bubble misses in the bottom lane. J-Dog and Fat Lee are pretty close to each other right now. We'll see if they end up running into each other. Fat Lee going up top looking for the first gank of the game. J-Dog, I don't think he'd be close enough to counter gank. And in goes Darian. Starts the engagement. Washed up top laner. Could be in trouble. Bandage toss lands. And this could be a lot of trouble for the Malphite. Yeah, J-Dog cannot get there in time. Washed up top laner will not even flash. First blood.
That was really close. I was concerned about Darian for a minute there, but good job by Fat Lee getting in there. Landed a good bandage toss.
Yeah, you wonder right there if that's just what you were talking about a minute ago, where Darian felt very comfortable taking that fight, getting that low on health, because he knew exactly what the Malphite would be able to dish back to him.
Oh, bubble
lands in the bottom lane. Yeah, gotta get lucky. Gets chunked down a little bit, but they do get a pull down onto Portswimmer, and he actually has to use the, whatever it's called, the E, Arcane Shift, to get away from the stun there. In the end, he does have the sustain from Tardis, though, so he will be able to stay in lane. Should be fine overall.
That is always the interesting thing when you're playing somebody with one of those gap-closing pull abilities like Pyke, where your ADC gets grabbed. What do you do? Do you pull their ADC closer? Do you do some other sort of engagement? Do you try to pull them away? It's a lot of things you got to think about while doing those sorts of things, and fortunately just the fear of the counter damage was enough to chase off any sort of damage to Gotta Get Lucky.
Now Tardis has been playing this pretty far forward on the Nami. We'll see if Luffy Senpai can punish that positioning. Both supports running the Ignite.
Yeah, LNZ's focus on Ignite has always been interesting to me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me on, say, an Alistar pick, but on a Nami, it's a little bit different than, I think, what you'd expect in a standard situation. Washed up top laner, getting shoved under his turret, does have a farm advantage despite being killed in first blood. Loki Senpai looking for the stun. He gets it down onto Portswimmer, who doesn't have the mana for Arcane Shift. Has to flash away. Will Gotta Get Lucky chase this? He does not. But they get the flash out of the Ezreal. Yeah,
the long cooldown on Bone Skewer really helping Portswimmer get out of there. That's balance. Oh, Exia has to burn a flash.
Yeah, forced the flash away as Fat Lee showed up in the mid lane.
Surprised Fat Lee didn't try to follow that up, but it looks like he's just trying to loop back around, and Exia is far forward, does have decides to use the ultimate.
Use the Spirit Rush. Looks like he will pop the egg on Hohenheim, but now he's behind enemy lines. In goes Fat Lee, uses the flash to guarantee the bandage toss, and now just tantruming away. J-Dog is not rotating towards his mid laner. Now he finally shows up, but it's too late. Fat Lee picks up the kill, and now Hohenheim is back up. A nice wall. J-Dog forced to flash, but here comes Darian now. The Ornn has arrived. Doesn't quite land the knockup, and I think J-Dog will be able to slowly get away from this one. But a kill goes down onto Exia.
So not quite the same kind of momentum that Blitzkrieg had there. But they do have the score advantage here.
J-Dog and Fat Lee brawling in the jungle, but Hohenheim's going to show up, and he should be able to get the wall down. Gets the stun down. J-Dog, my friend, sticking around without any support from his mid laner nearby. Lopi Senpai rotates to the mid lane, and now actually Phoenix may have overstayed. Here comes washed up top laner. He does have unstoppable force available if Blitzkrieg decide they want to chase this. Lopi Senpai is on the chase. Exia is there as well. A nice stun. Here comes the call of the Forge God. And now washed up top laner. Has he overstepped? Here's Exia. Does he have the damage? Nice job by Lopi Senpai picking up the first kill onto Hohenheim. That egg was not available anymore. Death from below secures the kill. Now they will continue to chase. When is the charm available for Exia? Can Darien juke it? He actually doesn't go through the minion wave. He doesn't use the potential body block there and is forced to flash.
I like that flash quite a lot. Waited for
yeah, I think it was necessary.
Waited for Lofi Senpai to start with the Bone Skewer and then flash to get out of range.
So Blitzkrieg, they get one back there, but still down 3-1. 500 gold lead over to the side of Phoenix.
First Dragon is an Earth Drake, so not as big a priority as the Infernal, but we'll see how they decide to play it.
Yeah, neither of these teams really have the kind of composition where you would expect them to try to rush a Baron, sneak a Baron at some point, so that makes the Mountain Drake a little bit less scary to give up. But still a strong Drake for snowballing a game.
Let's see if Anivia tries anything here. Nope, Exia actually decides not to go back at this next wave.
Gotta Get Lucky has done well to still be up 14 CS, despite the fact that Lofi Senpai has been gone out of lane for quite a while. J-Dog will clear out a ward in that Tri-Brush.
Got that blue buff now on the Anivia. Decides to Blast Cone. Interesting choice there.
Gotta Get Lucky is level 6 now, so has the Chain of Corruption, which is yet another thing that Owanzi TARDIS has to respect as that squishy Nami.
I think it's interesting that Darian's been super aggressive and he's still down CS. It's just his lot in life. Oh, speaking of chain, there it is.
Oh yeah, Port Swimmer gets locked up, does not have the flash, Gotta Get Lucky, looks for it. They get so much out of the Nami heals though, and now Lopi Senpai might go down. Gotta Get Lucky flashes in for the piercing arrow to finish off the Ezreal, and Pyke survives just barely as well.
Yeah, if I was Port Swimmer, I would have kept running there. You've got your ults available, get the heck out of it, don't turn around at all. And then once you're sure you're not going to get flashed on, then use that ult and possibly pick off Lofi Senpai.
Now Owanzi TARDIS is alone under the turret here. Looks like we're going to have a fight up in the top side river, potentially. J-Dog uses the Shadow Walk. But now he's on to Darien, who does not have flash. Remember, that was burned last time that these teams all brawled, but there's the call of the Forge God, and they take down washed up top laner. J-Dog will finish off Darien, but now he's way behind enemy lines. Exia has shown up as well, but can't find anything. And overall, that's a 2-for-1 on the top side in favor of Team Phoenix.
Yeah, Exia unfortunately missed quite a few skill shots there. Wasn't able to get as much damage onto Fat Lee as he probably wanted to.
Yeah, it looked like that fight might go badly for Phoenix, but they end up coming out on top. And that gold lead has grown a little bit. 700 now.
Oop, a lot of poke damage there from Port Swimmer. Yeah, Fat Lee, a 3-0 Amumu. Pull misses. Still going to go in a little bit, get a few pokes.
Yeah, Lopi Senpai is feeling bold right now.
Does have Exia possibly come in to help, but Exia changes his mind.
Exia actually down 24 CS right now. So Ari, certainly a champion that he is comfortable on, but it has not really paid dividends yet in this game.
Nope, there is a red form Kayn there. Yeah, Exia hasn't really been playing Ari the way we expect him to, typically, this game. He has not been doing big rotations yet. Maybe feels like he has to establish some more of a lane presence because this is Anivia.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more lane pressure against an Anivia than against most champions. You can get punished for roaming heavily because Anivia is capable of pushing that wave into your tower so quickly. Oh, Bone Skewer lands onto Port Swimmer and the Chain of Corruption. Death from below comes out, but they don't quite have the damage. TARDIS actually steps forward and goes down to Gotta Get Lucky. TARDIS just chased that for so long. Exia goes down in the mid lane, but they get a double kill in the bot lane. so far this game has been all about Blitzkrieg controlling the bottom half and Phoenix winning everywhere else.
Yeah, missed the engage there from Phoenix in the mid lane, but definitely was something you could see coming the way Fat Lee was lurking. But yeah, that bot lane.
First turret goes down.
The bot lane for Phoenix really has just been kind of overstaying fights, I think. I think they are hungry for blood. I think they have very fresh in their mind what they were able to accomplish last game, and they just let that get to them.
Yeah, certainly Blitzkrieg's bottom lane has impressed in this series so far. They have 2v2 killed their opposition multiple times. J-Dog goes in. He's very squishy right now, though, and Hohenheim flashed away. There's washed up top laner showing up out of nowhere, though, pulling a Darien, getting a big ult down. Fat Lee is just going to be soloed out by J-Dog, and it looks like Hohenheim will drop as well. Scrambled eggs for dinner. In the bottom lane, gotta get lucky, gets knocked up by a bubble, but they do take down the turret. So, Blitzkrieg firing back in a big way there, and all of a sudden they have the gold lead. There's
that top laner tempo that I was talking about, where Malphite just shows up and suddenly you win a team fight.
Absolutely, and that's a big deal right there, because that was the part of the map that they had been losing and bleeding from for the entire game.
That 3-0 on Gotta Get Lucky, though, was pretty intense.
And a 33 CS lead.
Yeah, Port Summer may be a little rusty from his absences the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you don't want to speculate. I don't know personally how much practice these teams have been putting in, but with Port Swimmer not playing that much this split, you wonder if, you know, that's contributing to the fact that Team Phoenix's bottom lane has not looked great in this series.
Well, we'll see what they can do. They do take the Drake, so that means that there will be a lot more help there for objective pushing, which I would say, just to get the tempo back, Blitzkrieg does need. We'll see where they decide to push next. Could go for the Rift Herald again. Could go somewhere else. We'll see. We'd like to see a few more wards. Obviously, there is some good ward placement. But especially, I think Phoenix needs some more wards, especially around the Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon did just get taken, so it's not going to be a huge priority for the next couple of minutes. Up in the top lane, we're seeing both top laners actually suffer in terms of CS. Hohenheim has gone down to the bottom lane doing his side lane split push thing. Does have teleport to join if necessary. Washed up top laner and Darien are going to have a little brawl over the Scuttle Crab, and the Malphite actually gets it.
Yeah, that sudden burst damage from Malphite, too much.
Everybody fears the Malphite burst.
I'm interested to see which team decides to apply pressure first. This top lane seems like it's ready to pop, I think. I think that someone should go up there, help Darien out, push out washed up top laner here a little bit, or at least try to. Or alternatively, crush Darien, because Darien is not as durable as you might normally expect from him. His health is only 1400. Compare that to some of the other tanks who are pushing 17 or higher.
Yeah, he's itemized into a lot of armor, which is fine, but Malphite, actually the majority of his damage is magic damage. Here's a two-person Curse of the Sad Mummy, and a nice knock-up. J-Dog is just going to get destroyed, and Phoenix find a great fight. Oh my gosh, J-Dog actually almost gets out, but the shutdown goes over to Port Swimmer. That's a nice influx of gold for him. Hohenheim in the bottom lane, though. Blitzkrieg trying to make a counterplay. In goes Exia, gets the charm down, and down goes the bird. Rift Herald will be taken by Phoenix, though, so overall a win across the map.
That's more of the Exia that we've come to expect. Go in, kill things, go back to lane. That's
a play where it felt like Hohenheim shouldn't have been where he was, knowing that the rest of his team was topside.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Something else that I think is very interesting is we saw Phoenix's combo potential there. I think both of their kills got hit by every single ult that was used.
Yeah, you had the Curse of the Sad Mummy, followed up by the Call of the Forge God, and then in went Port Swimmer with the damage from the True Shot Barrage. Very, very nice combo from Phoenix.
Don't want to make fun of Alon Z too much here, but he did just waste his stopwatch. Completely by accident while trying to scan for wards.
Now Phoenix, wash up top laner, step pretty far forward. Darien's very low on mana. and Fat Lee is as well. So actually, I really like how Blitzkrieg is playing this. They are not afraid at all. They know that there's no mana. There's no damage to be had on the side of Phoenix. And Exia is rotating up. Spirit Rush will be available in probably about 15 seconds. If they can run this down, they may dive under the turret. J-Dog uses the Shadow Step to cut off the escape of Darien. Washed Up top laner is very low on mana as well. But I think, yeah, Darien is certainly going to go down here. J-Dog gets the kill credit, so Phoenix just overstepping there. Maybe they lost track of their mana bars.
Yeah, I think it was not only that, but also just the fact that they don't really have any damage when they're pushing that. The two tanks and the support pushing aren't really going to get much done.
Mm-hmm.
But good job by Alonzi, helping try to keep both members alive, utilizing his spells. Just wasn't able to quite make it happen on the corner.
I really like the game awareness from Blitzkrieg there. They walked into a 2v3, but they understood the mana, the champions that were there. Port Swimmer could get caught out here. Death from below plus the ignite means that Loki Senpai picks up the kill. Will go down to the turret, though, as Fatley locks him up long enough.
Good use of that ult. Some people don't like using AoE ults for one person, but to get something out of that exchange, I agree with that play.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once again, we have Hohenheim split pushing.
Yeah, Gotta Get Lucky has gone down there to answer that. Darien up in the top lane will be paid a visit by J-Dog, and it looks like Washed Up top laner and Exia are going to follow. Darien might have to get out of here. Oh boy, Alonzi walks into Exia in the jungle. That is gonna be some fresh sushi. TARDIS goes down, and now Darien really gotta get out of there, my friend. You are about to get dove by 3 people.
And that was a case study as to why I hated playing against Ahri as characters with those sort of AoE skill shot abilities. She can just dance around them. Big ult, though.
Oh, Call of the Forge God. Can't get redirected as Darien was locked up under the tower. Goes down.
Yeah, that's the big problem with that ultimate. Sure, the impact is potentially insane, but you can get disrupted so much.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it would have saved him or changed that fight anyways had he been able to redirect it.
We do see
he needed to leave as soon as he saw the presence that Blitzkrieg had in that red side jungle.
It is interesting that Blitzkrieg is respecting Amumu and Ezreal as much as they were. They still had a 3v2 there, possibly could have at least hit the tower more, but as soon as they got the kill, they backed out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, they had used all their ultimates already for the kill on Darien, so maybe just understanding that their cooldowns were not in a good place. Now, though, Fat Lee may have overstepped. Now, J-Dog gives up the chase. They'll let him just wander away.
Earth Drake has spawned now. Second Earth Drake. Will give Phoenix a real possibility to deal a lot of damage to these turrets if they manage to get 2 Earth Drakes. I say Phoenix meant Blitzkrieg. But we'll see what happens here. We do have a possibility. Nope. Misses there. Plus, I don't think Lofi wanted that.
Yeah, Bone Skewer might have actually put himself in a terrible position there. Probably wasn't expecting 3 members of Phoenix to be there. Do have Phoenix with an advantageous position over this Mountain Drake right now. Washed Up top laner does have teleport available. Bone Skewer lands before Swimmer able to buffer the arcane shift. And now teleport coming down, but it gets interrupted. Washed Up top laner can't join the fight. Chain of Corruption comes out, though. That's a lot of damage onto Port Swimmer. He goes down right away. Fat Lee in the middle, doing so much AoE damage, but can't quite finish off J-Dog. Does get 1 onto Loki Senpai. It's a 2-for-1 right now. Exia going over. Nice shoot by Hohenheim onto the Charm. Fancy feet coming out of the bird. But Blitzkrieg does win the fight, and they turn back to the Drake.
Good job by Darien interrupting that. I was a little concerned that he wasn't teleporting as well, but the fact that he used that a chance to interrupt top laner, very well done. I actually would have liked to see a teleport trade there.
Yeah, if Darien starts to channel his teleport there, Wash Up top laner probably just uses Unstoppable Force and interrupts it himself. He may get run down here, though. Alonzi TARDIS is here. Exia rotating up, though, so I think that, yeah, that will keep Phoenix at bay. So Blitzkrieg in the last couple minutes have started to establish some real control over this game.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities from Phoenix here, and I would also like to say that I'd like to see Hohenheim involved in more of these fights. I appreciate his gameplay style. He's up 60 CS, you know, that's incredible too, but that only really translates to a handful of gold that is... It's a lot of gold. I'm not going to deny that it's a lot of gold. It's almost 2,000 over his mid laner. But when your team is starting to slowly fall behind, you need to utilize that gold lead. But
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Hohenheim in these skirmishes.
you know, I'd like to
Stun
see
here, a wall there, but hasn't been making the impact that you expect from a player like him, who, for my opinion, would have been considered the finals MVP from last split.
That's very interesting that Hohenheim just did that. I would have thought they should have gone in on him. Luffy Senpai spotted by a ward, plenty of opportunity, Fat Lee and Hohenheim there, but instead they let him kill the ward, favor getting the red buff.
Yeah, they didn't have much vision in that particular channel from the river up into that brush, so we're maybe concerned that Exia was waiting in the wings.
Well, this is officially a regular length game now, at least, so we have that. Not a lot of turrets taken so far, only 2 apiece.
Yeah, Phoenix with 3 members on the mid lane. The outer turret is already gone, so yeah, they are going to start to reallocate some of those resources. Fatly heading up towards the top side. Hohenheim gets the wall down. Lopi Senpai able to dash away from under the turret, but Washed Up top laner is going to take 3 turret shots there, and now Fatly is here. J-Dog is coming. Oh boy, Charm lands from Exia onto Port Swimmer. The Ezreal is just gone, but Washed Up top laner, he might suffer a similar fate. Uses the Unstoppable Force to get himself out and also hits Fatly, but Lopi Senpai goes down. Actually, I think top laner got caught by the end of the wave there and goes down, so 2 for 0 in the top lane on the side of Team Phoenix.
Yeah, missed that Port Swimmer engage, but that fight was really well done by Phoenix. They barely took any damage at all. I mean, obviously aided by Alan's healing abilities. But let's see if they overstay their welcome again.
Yeah, they have 3 members in this top lane. This time, though, they do have some damage on their side with Hohenheim, and J-Dog goes in all alone, my friend. You made a mistake. Free kill and a shutdown goes over to Hohenheim. Gotta get lucky is gonna try to keep Darien off of his turret, and I think Darien may have overestimated his tankiness here. Just gets destroyed and even flashed for it. Oh, Exia gets hit by a nice stun, and Exia, he does not have the Spirit Rush, used it for that kill onto Port Swimmer, and that's another big shutdown that goes over to Team Phoenix. Lopi Senpai is going to drop as well. They are just trickling into their own deaths. Washed Up top laner is tanky enough to get away, but Phoenix finding some huge ground in the top lane.
I would like them to leave now, and they are. Hohenheim with almost no mana. There goes another one of those plays we were talking about with the trouble with having a pull ability where Lofi pulls Amumu straight into the kill on Exia.
Yeah, you gotta pick your battles a little better than that, perhaps. Overall, I think that was 5 kills in that extended top lane push, in addition to a turret that went over to Team Phoenix there.
And they lost nothing for it. That's what's important.
Yeah, they lost 1 kill in the mid lane and 1 kill in the bottom lane, but no turrets, no structures, no objectives in response. And now you see them once again back in the lead. This game has been pretty swingy, which is good after what we saw in Game 1.
Indeed. Infernal Drake coming up in about 2 minutes. Baron, of course, has been awake for a while now. We'll see how Phoenix does here in this bot lane. A lot of people coming to play with them here, though this will be spotted.
Yeah, J-Dog, though, takes out that ward, and Lopi Senpai waited to show himself until it was gone. This could be trouble for side of Team Phoenix. Hohenheim is coming down as well, though. He may be able to rescue this fight. They're in onto Port Swimmer. This poor Ezreal has been just beaten up and targeted so much in this game. Hohenheim is here, though. He does get the stun down. Redemption comes down, and Lopi Senpai goes down. Hohenheim does turn around the fight, and J-Dog has to back away.
Just before that Pike ult came out as well.
Hohenheim takes the blast cone over. Phoenix aren't done here in the bottom lane. Fat Lee's taking down the turret in the mid lane. A lot of damage. Washed Up top laner got the top lane turret in response. Now will Fat Lee get caught out here, overreaching? He's going to be out of minions shortly. Has to get away. Nice juke on the Reaping Slash.
Sticking around a little bit too long. Here comes the ADC and the top laner. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Chain of Corruption lands onto Fat Lee. Can he get down to his team? Flashes away, and the rest of Team Phoenix is about to show up. This could get turned around in a big way. Oh, they get onto J-Dog. Gotta get lucky. He's taken extremely low. Fat Lee is just running down the Varus. Sick Nasty J-Dog has to flash over the wall. Hohenheim's very low, but I think he has egg available. Nice bubble from Tardis will keep top laner in range. But now here's Exia coming in from the side. Hohenheim taking extremely low. A double kill comes out for Loki Senpai. Now can they run down Hohenheim? Port Swimmer forced to run away. Exia will respect the Ezreal. And it looks like the fight will diffuse now. Boy, that fight could have gone either way.
Once again, really great play by Alonzi, keeping his team as safe as they possibly could. Using those bubbles, using that heal, using the speed boosts. That's the only reason that Hohenheim got out of there, I think.
Oh, I really like this play from Blitzkrieg. They teleport in top laner to get the tankiness down, and they have the 2 Mountain Drakes, so this Baron is going down a lot faster than you would expect. Port Swimmer comes over, checks it with just a couple spells. Can he do anything about this? No. Baron goes down. Loki Senpai goes over the wall looking for a pick, doesn't find it. Now Darian's going to teleport into a situation that is already over.
It's okay, guys, I'm here.
I really love that call from Blitzkrieg, understanding their damage at this point in the game, understanding that they have the 2 Mountain Drakes and they can burn that down. Infernal Drake now available. Looks like Phoenix, they want to establish some priority over it. They will have to start it soon, though, because Blitzkrieg are on the way back.
Yeah, this is like, there's a swarm coming here, and they do have Baron buff as well. They take out the ward, they put a ward in place, but they should be able to get this, yeah.
Yeah, they do get the Drake, and they will be able to get away. Blitzkrieg just not quite there in time. So Phoenix get a little bit of a reprieve after losing that fight in the jungle and then the subsequent Baron.
And I'm sure they feel good about having this Infernal, because that will really help Port Swimmer and Anivia.
Absolutely, and once again to keep it away from the side of Blitzkrieg, who are running 3 damage dealers. Actually 4, I guess, if you include Pike.
Sick Nasty has the Guardian Angel. So.
Yeah, I really like that buy because he's been the one going in deep on the fights. Baron buff cannon minion is going to start to get some chip damage down. Fat Lee holding the front line. Team Phoenix do still have an incredibly sturdy front line here.
Yeah, that's
Sean
one of their big points. Oh, that Ice Swallow.
Oh, they pull in Darian, who is not that tanky yet. Gotta get lucky, goes down. Oh, Darian gets a nice ult into the backline just to stop the fight. But meanwhile, they go back in. Tardis is extremely low. So many blinking red health bars, and gotta get lucky is just to try to clean it all up. But he can't find enough. He's all alone now. Phoenix, what a fight.
Suddenly, Baron buff doesn't seem to matter.
It's an ace for Phoenix out of nowhere in a fight that it looked like Blitzkrieg chose. Darian held the front line just long enough.
And there's...
And Phoenix, I think they'll get an inhibitor out of this push. Maybe not. No, Minion Wave not yet there.
And there's where the durability and the combo ability of their ults really came into play. Darian, like you said, not the most durable right now, but on the other hand, is able to at least draw some of the aggro away from their squishier abilities. Now, of course, they're being overconfident. Fat Lee is going to feed a kill here.
Yeah, Tardis went down to the turret, and then Fat Lee goes down to Loki Senpai. So they get the inhibitor turret, but not the inhibitor itself, which is what really matters.
Little excited there. Sad to see Fat Lee end up dying to Pike there, but you know, they probably feel okay getting that turret at least.
Yeah, certainly still a positive last couple minutes on the side of Team Phoenix. They do lose 2 at the end of that push, but there isn't really anything that Blitzkrieg are going to be able to collect as punishment.
This is a big question, though, about Blitzkrieg's strategy going forward here. You are against a team that combos their ultimates very well. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's going to be so important for them to find picks. I don't think that Blitzkrieg, they are the ones that want to be chasing the 5-on-5 engagements. I think they're the ones who want to spread the map out, create some chaos, darken the jungle, and take advantage of, you know, an immobile carry like Hohenheim.
Yeah, we'll see how they decide to do that. They do have washed up top laner who could split push as Malphite. Even Kayn could split push a little bit with his ability to slip in and out of danger. But we'll see how they decide to do this, because like you said, chasing a team fight when you have all of these large AoE traps and knockups, not the best thing.
Yeah, it's got to be, I mean, this is similar to, I believe it was game 1 between these teams in the regular season, where Blitzkrieg, they look to be in control of the game largely, but with the Fiddlesticks comp, which obviously Phoenix doesn't have here, but it was still a wombo combo composition with a lot of these AoE engagement ultimates. Phoenix was able to win a couple big fights convincingly and turn that game around. Oh, J-Dog in the front line, just sort of stepping forward. Darian will pop the Call to Forge God and get 2 with it. J-Dog is on the front line all alone. Chain of Corruption comes out. Wash Up top laner is just melting under the damage of Hohenheim. Darien, he's tanky enough now to hold the front line. And Fat Lee on the other side, keeping everyone away. Gotta get lucky, doesn't have enough damage. Port Swimmer goes in and takes down his counterpart. Gotta get lucky. Loki Senpai trying to carry the fight now. He does get 2 with death from below. J-Dog shadow stepping away. Fat Lee misses the flash bandage toss, but now he will just take him down. Flash Ignite from Tardis. And another one fight for Phoenix.
2 versus 3 here. They might be able to get an inhibitor with this, but I would not count out Exia just yet, especially when Hohenheim is the only damage dealer there.
Cheeky wall from Hohenheim interrupts the recall of Loki Senpai.
That being said, this is an 8-4 Amumu.
Yeah, Fat Lee is doing a lot more damage than people expect right now. He has opted into the Fiendish Codex and Blasting Wand, so he does have some AP in his kit. Or in his inventory, excuse me. And a nice rotation from Phoenix right down to the spot lane. They have a massive minion wave that's been building up for the last minute or two since Darien cleared one at their own bottom lane inhibitor turret. But if they overstay here, they could get collapsed upon.
I like this positioning coming out of Washed Up top laner. He is trying to get behind them for an ultimate. Ultimate is not quite available yet, but it will be in 6 seconds. Luckily, Phoenix backs out.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg opting not to pull the trigger there. I think they could have gotten a fight if they'd been willing to chase, but maybe feeling a little cautious after losing a couple team fights in a row.
Now, if I'm Blitzkrieg, this Earth Drake that's spawning in 30 seconds will be really interesting, because then I'll have 3 Earth Drakes, and if I win any fight, that will be a dead base.
I really want to watch Exia in this next fight, because I feel like the majority of the damage is going to be coming from him and Gotta Get Lucky. Gotta Get Lucky has sort of been just neutered in these fights, where he can only just wail away at Darien. He hasn't been able to get into the backline, do anything to anyone else. But I haven't really been able to see what's been going on with Exia. If he hasn't been able to land the charms, hasn't been able to get into the backline with his damage.
It seems as though he's just been having a lot of trouble, like you said, getting past Darien and Fat Lee. I mean, Darien, after being so squishy before, now has 3,000 hit points.
And all that armor that he built before is paying dividends with Gotta Get Lucky having to focus him in front-to-back team fights. Baron about to come up. Mountain Drake goes over to Phoenix, so they have one of those themselves after the first 2 went over to Blitzkrieg.
Darien checking everything, making sure he's not going to get ambushed. But he's actually the tankiest person in the game right now. 3,000 health compared to Amumu under that, and Malphite under that as well.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see how this game has gone split across the map. Fat Lee is all alone, but he should be able to survive, and oh, Blitzkrieg could be in a lot of trouble here. Oh, the Forge God comes out again. It actually whips on everyone, but they've just fought Washed Up top laner all alone. He isn't tanky enough to survive that. Nice job from Gotta Get Lucky getting 1 kill, but has to pop the stopwatch in the middle of everyone. He is certainly going to go down. He was able to pick off Tardis, but that's it. Now in goes Loki Senpai. He can't find the damage onto Port Swimmer, and the Ezreal lives through all the burst. That's huge. Hohenheim pops the hourglass to survive the last orb. And Exia can't get it done in that fight. Gotta Get Lucky. I complimented him at the start, but I don't think that was actually a worthy trade for him to put himself in a bad position just to kill the support. Phoenix will go right to the Baron.
Sick Nasty J-Dog does have his Guardian Angel available again, but not worth blowing it here. I liked Exia hanging out in the back line there, was almost able to pick off Hohenheim's egg form, but at the end wasn't able to do that, and now we'll see what Phoenix can do with this Baron.
Yeah, Port Swimmer just barely living through the assassination attempt of Lofi Senpai in that fight as well. This Ezreal was really struggling in the early game here, but Port Swimmer is fully online now, dealing a lot of damage, and so elusive as Ezreal can be.
Looks like they're going to try to focus on this bot lane. Meanwhile, a big mid lane push coming out of Blitzkrieg here. What do you think about this move?
Yeah, I mean, they have a slight advantage in terms of positioning right now, how far up the lane they are, but they have to deal with super minions, whereas Phoenix has Baron buff. So Phoenix would certainly push faster here. Blitzkrieg, I think, recognized that. They instead go down. Loki Senpai pretty far forward. J-Dog has that Guardian Angel available,
gonna get caught again.
Yeah, he might just go down for free here. Fat Lee, not really afraid of any of the damage, sidesteps it anyways. Lofi Senpai, oh my goodness, that's 2 spells from Port Swimmer.
Yeah, Port Swimmer has definitely come online. Even despite being 4, 6, and 11, he has a lot of gold.
Here comes Call the Force God again. Gotta get lucky is in the front line, and he is in so much trouble. Gets destroyed by Fat Lee and the True Shot Barrage. J-Dog's gonna get that Guardian Angel popped, and he should go down immediately afterward. Phoenix, they might actually just be able to push for the game here.
Yeah, their ults, the fact that they are so long range means that you can't even really dodge them by running away. You have to run sideways.
And Team Phoenix, after being destroyed in 18 minutes in Game 1, come back in a huge way. A back and forth game for much of the way, but Phoenix seized control about 5 minutes ago and never let it go.
Whew, good job, Phoenix, coming back there. Iceberg definitely was a big part of it, but Fat Lee, 11-4.
Yeah, take your hat off to that Amumu play right there, holding the front line while also really doing a lot more damage than I think people expect the Amumu to do.
And I do think that the front line was a big part of it. Let's check out more than just the normal advanced details here. So let's go to the graphs. Yeah, Exia dealing more damage than... this is a close game, that's how you can tell, because the losing team did more damage. But I want to see damage taken. Here we go. Take away damage to champions. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This tells a lot. The fact that Kane was always getting caught takes this much damage. You go back to the regular stats. Yeah, 5 and 7. J-Dog a little too far forward. Not necessarily his fault. Kane does like picking off positioning, but Phoenix reacted to it very well. All right, so Game 2. After that Game 1, I'm sure there were some people who didn't think we were going to get to a Game 3, but here we are. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be going into Game 3 and see who manages to come out on top, Phoenix or Blitzkrieg. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.